Namaste and welcome to Sutra Network, your trusted link to news, views, and stories that matter. Here we'll untangle the threads of today's biggest headlines and deeper issues. Today, we'll explore major news shaping the world and India. How Trump's 100% tariff on Indian drugs threatens billions in exports. Netanyahu faces UN scrutiny over Gaza and an ICC warrant. Why Modi seeks Putin's Ukraine strategy amid trade pressures. Why Trump mocks Ilhan Omar. How much did Amazon agree to pay to settle the FTC case over deceptive Prime subscriptions? Which iconic aircraft did India retire from service recently? When India and Pakistan are set to face each other in the Asia Cup 2025 final? What new initiative has the UK government announced to tackle illegal immigration? Bitter pill for Indian drum makers. US President Donald Trump has announced sweeping new tariffs, including a 100% duty on branded and patented pharmaceutical imports, starting 1st October 2025. Unless companies are building manufacturing plants in the US, this move aims to push companies to produce domestically. The measures also include 50% tariffs on kitchen cabinets, 30% on upholstered furniture, and 25% on heavy trucks, citing national security. The US is India's largest market for medicines, especially affordable generics. In 2024, India exported $3.6 billion worth of pharmaceuticals to the US, followed by $3.7 billion in the first half of 2025. Companies like Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharma, Lupin, and Aurobindo benefit from this market. While the 100% tariff targets branded drugs, there's uncertainty if complex generics and specialty drugs from India may also be affected. Indian exports already face 50% tariff plus a 25% penalty due to continued Russian oil purchases, adding further strain. Trump's 100% drug tariff is a major challenge for India. As the US is a key market for Indian generics, exports could face billions in losses, affecting revenue and jobs. India may need to diversify markets, boost domestic manufacturing, and engage diplomatically to reduce dependency on the US. This highlights the vulnerability of India's pharma sector to global trade shifts. Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the UN General Assembly today amid global scrutiny over allegations of genocide in Gaza. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, barred from entering the US, spoke via video, accusing Israel of war crimes and targeting civilians through starvation. Since October 2023, over 65,000 Palestinians have died and 167,000 wounded, while Hamas killed 1,139 Israelis. The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant against Netanyahu, intensifying tensions. Around 81% of UN member states recognize Palestine. Amid these developments, Trump said he would not allow Netanyahu to annex the West Bank, while also hinting at a possible Gaza peace deal after Netanyahu's UNGA speech. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has claimed that US President Donald Trump's tariffs on India are indirectly affecting Russia. Speaking on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, Mark said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been in touch with Russian President Vladimir Putin, reported asking him to clarify his strategy on Ukraine. As India faces tariff pressures, last month, Trump imposed a 25% reciprocal tariff for India and an additional 25% penalty for its continued imports of Russian oil, arguing these purchases fund Moscow's war in Ukraine. The remarks come amid ongoing US-India trade talks led by Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, while the recent hike in H-1B visa fees has raised concerns for India's tech sector. India, Russia, and China has recently displayed solidarity at the SCO summit, a move Trump criticized on social media. Trump tariffs impacting India-Russia ties. This highlights how global trade policies and political pressures influence not just economics but also strategic decision-making. For India, maintaining balance is challenging, as it must sustain trade relations with the US while preserving its long-standing strategic ties with Russia. Modi's proactive approach seems wise as it considers both the country's energy security and the need to maintain diplomatic equilibrium on the global stage. Strategic diplomacy is key in navigating such complex international pressure. President Donald Trump took a jab at Rab Ilhan Omar during a press briefing, saying he asked Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud to take her back following her criticism of the late Charlie Kirk. Mohammed reportedly declined, and Trump added that he himself didn't want her back, drawing laughter from officials. Omar faced backlash for calling Kirk a reprehensible human being and a stochastic terrorist after his assassination, sparking outrage among conservatives. Attempts to censure her in Congress failed. Her remarks, along with reactions from figures like Phil Mickelson, have fueled debate on political decorum, accountability, and free speech in the US. Amazon has agreed to a historic $2.5 billion settlement with the FTC to resolve a two-year-old dispute over allegedly tricking consumers into Prime subscriptions and making cancellations difficult. Under the deal, $1 billion will go as a civil penalty and $1.5 billion in refunds to around 35 million customers. FTC Chairman Andrew Ferguson called it a major win for consumers, highlighting Amazon's use of sophisticated subscription traps. Amazon, by paying the settlement, did not admit wrongdoing, asserting it always followed the law. Analysts say the move may simplify Prime cancellations but won't affect its market dominance. While $2.5 billion is huge, for Amazon is manageable, and the real win is for consumer awareness. This could pressure other platforms to adopt fairer subscription practices. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh attended the decommissioning ceremony of India's MiG-21 fleet in Chandigarh on September 26. As pilots flew the aircraft on the final sortie, Singh praised their valor and called the MiG-21 more than just an aircraft, highlighting it as a symbol of India-Russia friendship. He described its retirement as the end of an era, noting the plane's pivotal role in multiple conflicts from the 1971 war and Kargil to the Balakot airstrike and Operation Sindhu. The MiG-21, introduced in 1963, has been India's first supersonic fighter jet, flying over 62 years and participating in hundreds of missions, saving countless lives and contributing significantly to the Air Force's strategic capabilities. A memorial lane is being established in Chandigarh to showcase its legacy. For the first time in Asia Cup history, India and Pakistan will meet in the final. Pakistan qualified after defeating Bangladesh by 11 runs in Dubai, chasing a target of 136. Despite early wickets falling, Pakistan's lower order contributed enough to post a competitive total, while Bangladesh batting faltered. With this win, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are eliminated. India and Sri Lanka will play the final Super 4 match on September 26, which won't affect the points table. The historic India-Pakistan final is scheduled for Sunday, September 28 in Dubai, promising a high-stakes clash between the 12-time champions and their fierce rivals. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced plans to introduce a free digital ID scheme for both UK nationals and residents to tackle illegal immigration. The move, described by Starmer as an enormous opportunity for the UK, aims to secure borders, make it harder to work illegally, and allow citizens to access key services quickly. While the scheme promises convenience and benefits, opposition parties have criticized it. Reform UK called it a cynical ploy to mislead voters, and Tory leader Kemi Badenoch dismissed it as a gimmick unlikely to stop illegal crossings. The digital ID plan was not part of Labour's last election manifesto. Severe tropical storm Bualoy has struck the Philippines, killing at least 3 people in Luzon's Bicol region and forcing the evacuation of around 4 lakh residents. The storm, with winds reaching 110 km per hour, uprooted trees, destroyed roofs, and damaged homes, leaving streets blocked and many taking shelter in churches. Videos show flooded streets and residents navigating waist-deep water. The Philippines, hit by an average of 20 storms annually, is still recovering from Super Typhoon Ragasa, which killed 9. Officials warned of life-threatening storm surges up to 3 meters, while climate change is making such storms increasingly intense, exhibiting the vulnerability of disaster-prone communities. Now, time for today's piece of information. The Indian Railways is the India's largest employer, with over 1.4 million direct employees and thousands more indirectly through contractors and allied services. It operates 7,000 plus stations, running over 13,000 passenger trains and 9,000 freight trains daily across 67,000 kilometers of track. Indian Railways plays a vital role in transport, trade, and connectivity, linking rural and urban areas and contributes significantly to the economy by transporting millions of tons of goods and billions of passengers every year. For more such global updates, subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, and do visit our website.